Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will discuss about the even and odd signals, some problems related to even and odd signals. So I will give one example. So let us consider a signal which is in this form. Let's say this is at -1 and the amplitude is 1, and here let me consider this is the situation, and here it is -1 at 1, and this is a function of time. Let me call the signal as x of t. So this signal is neither even nor odd, so we will split into even and the odd part. And as we have discussed, the x even of t can be given as x of t plus x of minus t divided by 2. Similarly, x odd of t is equal to x of t minus x of minus t over 2. So first of all, we need to find this part, like means x of minus t. So what is x of minus t? As we have discussed, x of minus t, that means we will flip the signal along the y-axis. So you will be getting something like this, -1, then this is at t equal to 0, and this is at -1, and the left side that we will be splitting to right, so we'll be getting the signal here at 1, and this is 1. And there's something special about this signal, is like this signal you see here, x of t is jumping like this from, let's say this is amplitude is 1, it is 1 to -1 at t is equal to 0. So at t equal to 0, the signal is actually not continuous, it is discontinuous. So this is what the one of the important feature of this signal. But we should know what is the amplitude for t less than 0. That means we will consider just before 0 what is the situation. That means let us consider the situation of x of t for t is equal to 0 minus. At t is equal to 0 minus, as we have seen that, you see this part of the signal is for t greater than 0. So we don't need to consider this part. Actually, which part of the signal is t less than 0? We have this part for t less than 0. So at t is equal to 0 minus, the amplitude is very close to 1. The amplitude is very close to 1. So at t is equal to 0 minus, the amplitude of the signal, that means I can say x of 0 minus is equal to nearly equal to 1. Similarly, at t is equal to 0 plus, you see t 0 plus means just after 0. Just after 0 means we have to consider this part, you see, because the signal has already given a transition. The signal is already having a transition at t equal to 0 from 1 to -1. So the signal at t equal to 0 plus will be x of 0 plus, which is equal to -1. Similarly, we can consider for this part of the signal, that means the signal which is x of minus t also. So for x of minus t, so this is what x of t. Now for x of minus t at t is equal to 0 minus, what is the amplitude? You see, this is the amplitude which is for t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, you see the amplitude is jumping from -1 to 1. So at 0 minus, the amplitude was x of minus t, the x of minus t at t is equal to 0 minus is equal to -1. Similarly, at t is equal to 0 plus, what is the situation? The situation is, you see this part, because this is for t greater than 0. Now at t is equal to 0 plus, the amplitude is very close to 1. So this is the situation. So these things we have to identify in some signals which are having certain transitions, Now let us add these two signal. Now let us consider, you see the points here, it is -1, then t equal to 0, then 1. And similarly for the second signal also we have the same kind of points. So let me draw the points. So we have the points like -1, 0, and +1. So let me see what are the amplitude at -1. At -1, this amplitude is actually, you see here, this is amplitude is 0. And what about this signal, the second signal? You see the second signal is jumping from from 0 to -1. So if I add it, I can say that the amplitude is very close to -1. So 0 plus -1 is -1. So 0 plus -1 is -1. Let me write it here. So 0 plus -1 is -1. So it is also jumping to -1 because the second signal is jumping to -1. Next we need to see what happens at t is equal to 0. As I told you, at t is equal to 0, the function is jumping, x of t is jumping and also x of minus t is jumping. We need to consider our cases, that means at 0 minus and 0 plus. So at what happens at 0 minus, you see at 0 minus we have already discussed the amplitude is 1 and here it is -1. So the total will be equal to 0. So 1 plus -1, the amplitude will be equal to 0. So this is the situation. So now you can, this is the situation you see here at t equal to 0 minus. So since this is the situation is 0 minus, there is no issue in joining. In the class I have given you more details by taking a point in between, but you can actually proceed like this also. You can directly join for t equal to 0 minus. Now let us consider what happens at 0 plus. So at 0 plus, you see, that means just after 0, at 0 plus what happens? At 0 plus we know already, we have found it, the amplitude is -1 and here the amplitude is what? 1. So -1 plus 1, the amplitude is 0. So at 0 plus also the amplitude is 0. So nothing to worry. So the next point we have to consider is what? Actually 1. So at t equal to 1, the function is jumping from, you see, 1 to -1, and this function, the second function, is having x of minus t having the amplitude 0. So this is jumping, you can say, since it is jumping, you can consider the amplitude -1, there is no issue. So -1 plus 0, it will be -1. So this will be -1. So you can say the function is jumping, and the same characteristics of the first function will be repeated here. So it is jumping. So now you have the point at 0 plus and you have the point which is at -1. You can join it. Now you see this is what? X of t plus x of minus t. Now I want to find what? Even part of the signal. So what I have to do, sorry for this, I need to find what? Even part of the signal. So what I need to do, I need to divide the thing, the whole thing divided by 2. So I will divide this divided by the 2. Similarly, this also will be divided with the 2. So this signal is even part of the signal, and it is very clear that the signal is even. Now let us consider the odd part. Okay, so I will go to the odd part of the signal. So let me take another color to represent. Now this is what? I am going to find x of t minus x of minus t. Now what are the points? My points are at -1 and 1. Then also I need to consider what happens at 0 minus and what happens at 0 plus because of the sudden transitions in the signal. Now let us consider the signal. So at -1, so at -1, as we have discussed, the amplitude is 0 for the first signal and the second signal is jumping from 0 to -1. So you can consider this final amplitude -1. So it will become 0 minus, so I can say, I will write it here itself. So At this point it will become 0 minus minus 1, so the amplitude will be 1. So this will become 1. Since the signal is jumping at this point, we have to show the same jumping. Okay, so up to 1. Now we will see what happens at 0 minus. So at 0 minus means this point, the amplitude we have already calculated. So we have already calculated the amplitude is 1 at 0 minus. Similarly, for the second signal x of minus t, the amplitude is minus 1. So we have to find at 0 minus, we need to calculate at 0 minus, at 0 minus, what is, sorry for this, at 0 minus we have to calculate the amplitude. 0 minus, the amplitude was, the first signal was 1 and the second signal was minus 1. So 1 minus minus 1, 1 minus minus 1, it will be 2. So we should consider this part. So the amplitude should be 2. Anyway, I need to extend the line, so then only it is possible. Okay, so this is what, 2. Now this is happening at 0 minus. Since it is happening at 0 minus, you can see here this is 2. I can join up to 0 minus. Now we will see, let me write it here. Okay, now at 0 plus, what is the situation we have to see? Okay, at 0 plus, at 0 plus, you see here the second signal, the first signal is having the amplitude at 0 plus, as we have discussed. 0 plus is this point, 0 plus is this point. So 0 plus, the amplitude is here. You see we have already given it is as what, minus 1, and so I can write at 0 plus we have the first signal minus 1. Then we have to subtract, because according to our formula we have to subtract the signals. Next, at 0 plus, the second signal is 1. You know this, it is 1. So 1, so it will become minus 2. So this will be going to, anyway I will redraw this a little bit smaller, sorry for this. So let me consider this is I think the first amplitude was, I forget, sorry for this, yes, it was 1 and 2. So I can consider it as 1 and it is going to 2 at 0 minus, and I can join this. Now you see at 0 plus, that means at 0 plus what is happening, the amplitude is going to minus 2. So the amplitude goes to minus 2 at 0 plus. So this jumped at t equal to 0. There is a sudden transition. Now we have to see the next point. So the next point, it is at it is at 1. At 1, the amplitude is going from 1 to minus 1, or we can say, we can consider minus 1. So we have minus 1, then we have this one, the second one as 0. So minus 1 minus 0. So the answer is going to be minus 1. So at 1, this is going to be minus 1. So let us so this is going to be minus 1. So what will happen? This will be joined here, and this is suddenly jumping at this point. So this will be at minus 1. So this signal is called actually the odd part of the signal, but it is not finished. We want to find the odd part. How to find it? We have to divide it with 2. So what I am going to do is, I am going to divide this signal with 2. That means this 2 become 2 over 2, minus 2 become 2 over minus 2 over 2, and 1 minus 1 become minus 1 over 2, and this 1 become 1 over 2. So then we will get the odd part of the signal. So this is the even and the odd part of this signal. I hope this problem is very clear to you. So any problem which is related to this kind of sudden transition can be done like this. So you can consider this as example 1. So I will be giving you another example. So let us consider a problem, example 2, and it is very simple. Um, there is no complication in this case. I can say this is also something like this, okay, and okay, this is having a step part, so this is 1 and this is 2. Again you see there is a sudden jumping. So whenever there is a sudden jumping, you have to consider what happens at 0 minus and 0 plus. So this is at t equal to 0. So this is your x of t. So what you have to find the even and the to separate the even and the odd part, you can see that this signal is neither even nor odd, right? So we want to separate out the even and the odd part. Now first of all we will consider first we will find what is x of minus t. So x of minus t will follow like this, okay, this is at minus 2 and this will go to 1, and here the amplitude is 1 and this amplitude is 2. So this is what x of minus t. Now we will see what are the points when we add it, okay. So first of all we will consider, you see the points here, the first signal has the points minus 1, then 0 and 2, and here the second signal has the point minus 2, 0 and 1. Now I can consider all the points from minus 2, I have 1, then I have 0, then I can consider 1, then I can consider what here 2 also. So these are the points that I need to consider, okay. Next I need to draw it. For sketching the signal, you see the first signal has no value for at minus 2, and here there is some value as minus 2. So what I am going to find it is x of t plus x of minus t. So when I add it, you see this amplitude is 2, and here for the first signal it is nothing. So 0 plus 2, the answer is going to be 2. So I got 2. Okay, I got 2. Now you see here at t equal to 0 there are a lot of issues, and before 0 also there are some issue. You see there is some transition here, and here this is a flat, everywhere it is flat with the amplitude 2, and here I can consider one point, okay, and the amplitude at minus 1, the signal is jumping from the first signal is jumping from 0 to 1, and you can say after minus 1 what is happening, the amplitude is 1, and if I consider here the amplitude is 2, so 2 plus 1 become 3, 2 plus 1 become 3. So at 1 the amplitude is jumping from 2 to 3, so you have to consider like this. So these are the points. I hope it is clear to you. Now the next part we have to consider at 0 minus. We have to consider 0 minus. Why? Because you see there is a jumping here also. So both the signals are jumping at 0 minus. So at 0 minus we will consider the first signal. For this signal, the amplitude at 0 minus, you see just before 0 the amplitude of this is 1. X of 0 minus is equal to 1, okay. Now at 0 plus, what is the amplitude? At 0 plus, what is amplitude? At 0 plus, the amplitude is 2. The amplitude is equal to 2. Now for this second signal, I can consider x of minus t at 0 minus. What is amplitude? You see just before 0 the amplitude was 2, okay. Then x of minus t at 0 plus, what is amplitude? After 0 the amplitude has shifted suddenly at 0 because there is a transition. So at 0 minus the amplitude become 1. So this first you have to write it, then there is no room for confusion. Now we will just add it. Okay, now at 0 minus, so now we have already finished the point 1. Next we will jump to 0 minus. At 0 minus, we have already discussed the amplitude is 1, and the second signal the amplitude is 2. So 1 plus 2 become 3. So already it is at 3, so this will become at 3. So I can join the line. It's clear. Next, at 0 plus, what is the situation? We need to see. So at 0 plus, you see at 0 plus the first signal, as I have discussed, it is like it is 2, and the second signal is 1. So the total is going to be again 3. Okay. Next, we need to see what happens at t equal to 1, because there is no change here, but in the second signal there is a change. So in the second signal is actually going from 1 to 0 at t equal to 1, and the first signal is having the amplitude 2. It is a constant. So 2 plus 1, you can say 2 plus 1 is his first signal is 2 plus 1 is again 3, but you see after 1 what is happening after 1? After 1, you see after 1 the amplitude has gone to 0. So you can say after 1 what happens? 2 plus 0 become just 2. So after 1, or we can say at 1, the signal is going down to 2, right? Because this is 2 and the first signal is 2 and the second signal is going to be 0. So 2 plus 0 become 2. So I can join like this. Okay. And the third part, as we have seen, this is going down from 2 to 0, and here there is no signal at 2, is nothing here, no amplitude. So the amplitude will also go from 2 to 0 at 2. So this is what happening. Okay, so you can see this. I will just draw neatly. So this signal, so this part, this signal is having this is called x of t plus x of minus t. Now I want to divide with 2 to get the even part of the signal. So I am going to divide this with 2. I am going to divide everything with 2. So you can see this become 2 over 2, this become 2 over 2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, sorry, 3 over 2 and 3 over 2. So this is the even part of the signal. Next, we will see what is the odd part of the signal. It is not that much complicated. So let me consider the axis. Okay, this is the axis, and in the same way I need to mark minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, now you see I need to subtract, because I need to find what is x of t minus x of minus t. Later on we will divide with 2. Now we have amplitude here 0, and in the second signal we have the amplitude which is going from 0 to 2. So 0, I can say after 0 what happens? Sorry, after minus 2 what happens? So after minus 2 the amplitude as for the second signal become 2. Is it clear? So 0 plus, not plus, 0 minus 2. So the amplitude should be minus 2. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. So the amplitude is jumping to minus 2, right? So the amplitude is jumping to minus 2. So this is what happening. Next we will see what happens, because there is a change in this the first signal and there is no change here. So the change in the first signal, the amplitude become 1. So 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So the amplitude has changed to minus 1. The amplitude has changed to minus 1. I will make it little bit larger. This become minus 2 and this become minus 1. But how it changed? Actually, there is a sudden change which is going up, and here there is a constant. So this also should go like this, right? Sudden change going up. So this is the situation. Now what is happening at 0 minus? We have to see what is happening at 0 minus. So at 0 minus, we have already seen the amplitude is 1 and the second signal, the amplitude is 2. So 1 minus 2 will be equal to minus 1. So at 0 minus also the amplitude is minus 1. So this is at 0 minus. Okay. Next we will see what happens at 0 plus, the point at 0 plus, what is the situation. And we have already seen the amplitude is 2 and this is 1. So 2 minus 1 should be equal to 1. Yes, this is what. So at 0 plus, the amplitude should goes to 1. Now you see at 0 minus it is minus 1 and 0 plus it should goes to 1. That means there is a sudden change from minus 1 to 1. So the function has jumped. Okay. Next is the next point we will consider just before the point 1. Now you see the amplitude of the first signal is always 2 and I can say just before 1 the amplitude is 1. So 2 minus 1 the amplitude will be equal to 1. So just before 1 the amplitude should be equal to 1. So I can join this line. Okay. The next is the next point. You see we have to consider the point 2. At 2, just before 2 the amplitude was 2. So and here nothing. So 2 minus 0 should be equal to 2. So just before 2 I can say just before 2 actually the amplitude for the first signal, I can say the first signal is going like 2 to 0. You see this the first signal is going from 2 to 0 and here it is nothing. So this one should goes to 2 to 0. So 2 to 0. So this will be the shape. But you see what is happening here. This is what we need to first evaluate. So we need some more points. What are those points? You see here after 1, that means this point after 1 the amplitude is 0 and here the amplitude is always fixed. So 2 minus 0 should be equal to 2. So after 1 the amplitude should be equal to 2 and here also it is 2. So I can join this line and the function is having a sudden jumping. You can see the function is having a sorry for this, the function is having a sudden jumping. The function is having a sudden jumping. So this will be here. Okay. So this is the odd part, but it is not complete. I need to divide with 2. So this will become 2 over 2 and every point this become 2 over 2 and this will become 1 over 2 and this is at minus 1. So this will become I can say minus 1 over 2, minus 1 over 2. This become minus 2 over 2. So this is the odd part of the signal. So I think you understand this. If you don't understand, just repeat the video and watch it. And if you don't, if you still have the confusion, you can meet me. Thank you.